Forbidden feelings. Weeks passed, and the change in Mira and Lyra's relationship was subtle but unmistakable. Shared glances, lingering touches, conversations that extended beyond their research. They began meeting in the botanical gardens after work hours, allegedly to discuss their findings, but increasingly to simply enjoy each other's company. "You have a mathematical pattern to your laughter," Lyra observed one evening as they sat beneath luminescent flora. "Did you know that?" Mira smiled. "No one's ever analyzed my laugh before." Lyra's hand brushed against Mira's, their fingers tentatively intertwining. "I find I want to analyze everything about you," she admitted, "the patterns that make you unique." Their first kiss happened naturally, inevitably. Lyra's lips surprisingly warm against Mira's, the sensation sending shivers across Mira's skin. When they pulled apart, Lyra's patterns glowed brighter than Mira had ever seen them. "This is forbidden," Lyra whispered, her voice trembling. "We could both face serious consequences." "I know," Mira acknowledged, "but I've never felt this way about anyone, human or otherwise. Have you?" "No," Lyra admitted, "and that terrifies me." They began meeting in secret, stealing moments between research sessions, careful to maintain professional distance in public while privately exploring the uncharted territory of their feelings for each other. One night, while reviewing classified data on Zephyria's deteriorating ecosystem, Mira made a discovery that changed everything. A correlation between human genetic structures and a potential solution to the planet's degradation. "Lyra, this could save your world," Mira explained excitedly, showing her the findings. "A collaborative approach using modified human genetic material to stabilize the planetary decay." Lyra studied the data, her eyes widening. "This would mean revealing our complete genetic mapping to humans, something our council has expressly forbidden. But Mira, this could work." Their professional breakthrough became entangled with their personal relationship, both forbidden, both potentially revolutionary, both impossible to ignore. As Lyra traced gentle patterns across Mira's bare shoulders in the privacy of Mira's quarters that night, they both understood they had crossed a point of no return. "What happens now?" Mira asked. Lyra's violet eyes met hers. "We fight for what matters," she said simply. "Both your discovery and us." New Horizons. The joint council chamber fell silent as Mira and Lyra concluded their presentation. The data, unmistakable. Their solution, viable. A collaborative approach that would save Zephyria while establishing unprecedented cooperation between their species. "What you propose is scientifically sound," one council member admitted, "but the personal relationship that led to this discovery remains problematic." Lyra stood tall, her patterns glowing confidently. "Our relationship isn't a liability. It's precisely what made this discovery possible. Our different perspectives combined created what neither species could develop alone." Mira stepped forward, joining her hand with Lyra's. "If you want to save Zephyria, you need both of us working together, which means accepting all aspects of our partnership." The deliberations lasted for hours, tense negotiations between human and Zephyrian authorities. Finally, Vexamonic approached them as the councils disbanded. "The proposal has been accepted," he said reluctantly. "A joint scientific commission will be established to implement your solution, and both councils have agreed to review the non-fraternization directive." Commander Zhao nodded. "Your personal relationship will be granted special diplomatic status for now. The first officially recognized human-Zephyrian pair, a test case of sorts." 6 months later, Mira stood on the observation deck, watching as the first phase of the planetary restoration began. Below the surface of Zephyria, gradually returning to health. "You're thinking too loudly," Lyra said, joining her, sliding her arms around Mira's waist. "Just appreciating how much has changed," Mira replied, leaning back against her partner. "How one storm changed everything." Lyra's patterns rippled with amusement across her purple skin as she gently turned Mira to face her. "Did I ever tell you humans have a mathematical pattern to their kisses too?" Mira smiled. "I believe you'll need to conduct further research on that." As their lips met, Mira knew they had found something rare and precious. Across the vast distance of space, they had discovered not just scientific breakthrough, but each other, creating something entirely new in the process. A bridge between worlds, a love without precedent, and a future neither had imagined possible. Their story became legend on both planets. The human and the Zephyrian who defied protocol and saved a world in the process, proving that sometimes the most revolutionary discoveries come from following your heart across the stars. The diplomatic assignment. The static-filled holographic display flickered as Mira Patel adjusted her translator implant one last time. The quantum jump had left her with a splitting headache, but there was no time to recover. The landing party would reach Zephyria's surface in less than 30 minutes, and as the mission's senior xenolinguist, she needed to be fully prepared. 20 years of searching, and we finally find intelligent life, Mira whispered to herself as she reviewed her notes on Zephyrian culture. Their initial contact had been peaceful but cautious. The purple-skinned humanoids had technology comparable to Earth's, but their biological makeup and social structures were fascinatingly different. Commander Zhao's voice came through the ship's comm system. "All diplomatic personnel report to Shuttle Bay 3 immediately. Dr. Patel, please bring your complete translation matrix." Mira grabbed her data tablet and hurried through the corridors of the USS Horizon, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. This was what she had trained for her entire career, the chance to communicate with a truly alien intelligence. The shuttle descent was smooth, despite Zephyria's dense atmosphere. Through the viewport, Mira could see sprawling crystal structures that seemed to grow naturally from the planet's surface, yet clearly showed signs of intelligent design. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," a tall Zephyrian greeted them as they disembarked. "I am Senior Scientist Vex of the Planetary Research Institute. We are honored by your presence." Mira activated her translator and stepped forward. "I am Dr. Mira Patel, Xenolinguistics Specialist," she said carefully, watching as her words were converted to the musical tones of the Zephyrian. "We come in peace and with hopes of mutual understanding." Vex nodded, a gesture they had apparently adopted from studying human transmissions. "I will introduce you to your research partner. She will be your primary liaison during your stay." The Zephyrian who approached them moved with fluid grace, her skin a deeper shade of purple than the others, with subtle patterns that seemed to shimmer under the planet's blue-tinted sunlight. She was tall and slender, with delicate features that somehow managed to appear both alien and beautiful. "This is Lyra, our foremost expert in comparative biology and linguistics," Vex explained. "Lyra, this is Dr. Patel." Lyra's eyes, a striking violet color, met Mira's, her expression unreadable. "Humans," she said, the translator rendering her melodic speech into flat English. "Your species has quite a reputation for curiosity, often at the expense of caution." Mira felt a chill despite the warmth of the alien sun. "I prefer to think of it as enthusiasm for knowledge," she replied carefully. Lyra's mouth curved slightly. "I hope you will find our collaboration educational, Dr. Patel.
though I must remind you that our council has strict protocols regarding information sharing. The non-fraternization directive applies to all interactions." "Of course," Mira nodded professionally. "I'm here to work, not to socialize." For the next several hours, Mira was led through a dizzying orientation to the research facility where she would be spending the next 6 months. Her quarters were Spartan but comfortable, with adaptations made for human physiology. That evening, as she unpacked her few personal items, Mira reviewed her first impressions of Lyra. The Zephyrian scientist clearly had reservations about working with humans. Her coolness had been evident despite the translator's flat rendering of her speech. This is going to be challenging, Mira thought, but also incredible. She had expected cultural differences, of course, but she hadn't anticipated the immediate tension with her assigned partner. Something about Lyra's violet eyes and direct gaze had unsettled her, making her simultaneously uncomfortable and intrigued. Tomorrow, they would begin work on their joint research project, analyzing the linguistic and biological foundations of their respective species' communication systems. 6 months suddenly seemed both too long and not nearly enough time. Mira fell asleep dreaming of purple skin and violet eyes, wondering what secrets lay behind them.